Hello and welcome. It is 6 o'clock and it is the 6 o'clock club. It is Monday night and we are here after a very, very rapid week has rushed past us. I can't believe it's the 13th. We're halfway through March already. As always, well, Monday through to Wednesday at least, we have Christian with us. Hello, matey. How was your weekend?
Oh, it was wonderful. Thank you very much. I lots and lots and lots of role playing from on Saturday night anyway with my D&D group where they defeated the big evildoer, which was a lot of fun, and a lot of walks on Sunday, which was nice and quite a relaxing weekend, I think. But now we're here. It's Monday, and I'm sad that there was no Eberron game on Sunday.
Yeah, it it f-
But
it felt odd, I have to say.
yeah,
To me, it felt odd. But I
it's all
mean,
right. I drank wine instead.
I think when you play a weekly game as well, it does feel it feels like you were missing something.
Yeah, yeah, and I was thinking, oh well, now I'll be going upstairs and loading up Fantasy Grounds and then updating Fantasy Grounds again, and then as software is often want to do, and thinking, oh, what's Iron Bar going to do this week? And I was I cooked a meal instead and drank some wine, so it wasn't
That was
terrible.
a
In fact, it
nice,
was
nice
very
evening.
nice, very
Uh,
nice.
as I said, I got to play Baldur's Gate 3 last night.
I know.
And it was fun. We'll come on to that in a minute. We'll have a little chat. I've got a ton of stuff that I was meant to cover on Friday, but me and Ian got rambling and chatting, and
I I always enjoy watching you and Ian rambling.
yeah, we do it a lot. I want to say a quick shout out to people in chat at the moment. We've got Kyle, we've got Elsa, and we've got Michael. Hello, everybody. Um, Yes, I'm kind of all at sorts at the moment. I've got so many ideas and things to do and not enough time to do anything. But it is Monday. It's a perfect chance to focus on the games that happened at the weekend and then talk about potential things that are happening this week.
Exciting.
So, first and foremost, Friday night was Collateral Damage. As usual, is our Friday night weekly game. Really good fun, as always, with Collateral Damage. We had Ben, Charlotte, Michael, Stuart, Ryan, and Richard. We were missing V. Um, V was out of the country. But very kindly, and this is the kind of game it is, they jumped into Discord right at the start of the game just to say hello, wish you all a good game. And
Oh,
it's
that's
just
nice.
really nice.
Yeah,
I
that's
couldn't
really
really
nice.
play.
I wouldn't do
Right.
that.
Well, I feel sad that you don't feel that the Eberron game is there for you, because we're there for you.
It wasn't there on Sunday, was it?
No, no, other people were off. It was
Yeah.
great fun. The guys, I shouldn't say guys really, the players um, in the game, the characters are making their way down to Cult. They are in Faerun. They have arrived back, say, super high level. They teleported down to Port Nyranzaru. They did some things. There was some really fun shenanigans with some dinosaur racing that goes on down there. It was a delight to be involved in, as usual. They've found themselves a guide and they're about to go into the interior of this massive jungle, a sort of
Exciting.
biome. Well, it really is. I mean, it's your classic savage world,
Yeah.
dinosaurs, but
Everything's
also,
trying to kill you.
yeah, uh, there are undead that are there from a lost time, ruins, and everything else. So it's gonna. I can't wait. Really, it's gonna be absolutely a blast. But that was Saturday. Sorry, that was Friday night. And then we had a really strange Saturday. Well, we've had a strange weekend all in all, really, in the fact that we were down 2 games on Saturday. We should have had 4 games, and miscommunications, as they often happen, meant that 2 games didn't sort of fire. Real life sometimes gets in the way, and it's super busy, but I kind of miss that. But it also meant that the later Saturday night game had a few extra people in as well, which was very good, and
Okay.
I'll come on to that in a minute. So first and foremost, our regular fortnightly Dungeon of the Mad Mage was very cool. In that we had Anand, Ian, Pete, Josh, and Richard. We were missing Jocelyn, who unfortunately couldn't make it. Um, and I don't want to really give too many spoilers out, but they in effect met Hallister, the Mad Mage himself, and I got to play a Mad Mage, and that was very funny.
Nothing different for you.
Nothing, no, no. It is a part that I hope I excel at. I don't find it a stretch to play Mad Mages. So I don't know. I had a blast. Hopefully, the players enjoyed it as well, and they had to go and deal with the threat, and they dealt with the threat, and then they discovered a secret door, as there is in the Dungeon of the
Mm.
Mad Mage, and they've moved the way through, and it ended on a bit of a cliffhanger.
Ooh.
It was a great session, lovely players, and as we were chatting about it, I think on Friday again, because Ian's in that game, and for a dungeon crawl, for a mega dungeon, it's got a lot of role play potential within it. If
Okay.
you don't
Yeah.
you don't have to search for it. It's there if
Yeah.
you want it.
Yeah. That's good though. That's really good.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that's the thing that dungeon crawls kind of they could get a bit.
I,
Sometimes a lot of lack of that, and if they've included that in, if it's in there, that's really
yeah,
really
yeah.
good and really positive.
I mean, you can certainly write them a bit like Hero Quest, which is, you go into rooms, you see what's in there, and then you slay what's in there and you take their loot. But Dungeon of the Mad Mage it's definitely written. It's quite quirky in places.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was an absolute blast. So thanks to the players. Then we should have been running Greyhawk Unbound, but unfortunately that didn't fire. We had John, Simon, Wayne, and Al. Miss you guys very much. Hopefully, uh, the stars will align and we will be able to do it in a fortnight's time. Then we had Tales from the Smoke. Again, this did not fire again because of miscommunication. Should have been Kyle, Cara, Ben, and Marcus. Um, but it did mean that our 7 o'clock game, the Spelljammer Cosmic Rain, which is traditionally Jack, Adam, and Sky, had Cara, Kyle, and
Ah,
and Michael
interesting.
join it. And what was interesting is that Kyle, Cara, and Michael had played in a lower level Spelljammer game, so they brought those characters back and
Ah.
they leveled them up for it. And they're on this sentient planet world at the moment, so it's very Avatar-esque. The
Hmm.
plants seem to be really peaceful, and it's very tranquil and everything, and they are being threatened by an older and more ancient civilization that they thought had died out, that is re-emerging and causing an imbalance. So they are trying to sort that out for them. Um, I'm very excited. I mean, Michael is in chat, hopefully. How did you feel um, about the game? Did you enjoy it? Oh, Cara's in as well. Cara said it was a lot of fun. It was good to play Spelljammer again. Michael's in there. Hi, Kyle played in it as well. Yeah, let us know your thoughts in chat. I had a blast. I thought it was really good fun. I thought the two groups actually gelled really, really nicely as
Because
well.
that's always a worry when, especially when you get different parties,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's kind of there are role players role players prerogative to kind of get everyone to get along.
yeah, yeah.
Really find that thing.
Um, uh, uh, in my mind, I thought it worked really, really well.
Hmm.
And I was very happy with it. It's 12th level game. Um,
Wow.
and there's a lot to be found out and a lot to do, not just on this world, but beyond. It was quite an interesting final encounter that they haven't quite finished yet. They were in this massive. It's not really a jungle, but kind of this Avatar-esque
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of world of mass. I mean, I'm talking 500 feet plus tall plants and all this bioluminescence and everything else.
Mm.
And they were trying to get a rest and they were disturbed. They finally uncovered what it was, and it wasn't as threatening as they first thought.
Oh.
But they
So
are
does
to
that mean
play.
they've got to have another session now, don't they?
Well, I mean, there's definitely another session anyway, because
Wow.
because the campaign's running, but
Yeah.
hopefully the Cara, Kyle, and Michael, they've already said they want to come back and do some more at the very least for this story arc. So,
Yeah, that's an interesting one with guest PCs sort of coming in, going out, coming in, going out. It's not something I've ever experienced. I think it'd be quite a interesting thing to sort of consider how you manage that. Obviously, not for now. We're trying to get
yeah,
through what happened, but how you manage guest PCs coming in, going out, and expectations and balancing really for new players coming in that won't be there for very long.
yeah. I mean, I knew this wouldn't be an issue anyway. Um, both sets of players are super chilled and cool and
Mm.
very welcoming. So it was. Sometimes, yeah, you're right. I might have felt a little bit anxious, but not for this one. I just knew
No.
that everybody would gel. I also knew the characters. I knew the characters
Yes,
would
that
also.
helps.
It wasn't like putting, oh, these are chaotic evil, or even worse, chaotic neutral characters, and these are lawful good characters.
Yeah, might
This
not work.
it doesn't matter how great the players are. They're playing their characters, and the characters would be divergent, and it just wouldn't work. But it was great fun, and I was really pleased to see the numbers, so that we can. I'm a big fan of Spelljammer.
Mm.
I think there's a lot that can be done with it outside of your traditional D&D, and I look
Yeah,
forward to doing a lot more of it. Um, Then that brought us on to Sunday, and sad face Sunday, only one game because, as we already mentioned, Eberron wasn't on. So,
yeah, no everyone.
what a game it was! It was mythical rise of the Weird Eaters, and it was epic as they
What a
mopped.
title.
Yeah, yeah, they mopped up the mercenaries that were around this edifice. It's kind of a sphinx type. Um, Sort of complex, and they managed to get entry to it, which was challenging enough. Had they failed to do that, they would have taken huge amounts of psychic damage. Um, but forewarned, the temple, the Sphinx was. They had guards and they had to battle their way through a little bit. They captured one of the guards, and they got some more sort of plot as well. And then they entered this chamber and they unleashed these horrible undead monsters called Bodaks. And that is
They don't
where
sound nice.
they're not. They are potentially lethal. They a bit like banshees. That if
Okay,
you
yeah.
if you fail your saving throw against their scream, they can reduce characters to 0 hit points, regardless of how many hit points you've got.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, these do a similar sort of thing, but with their death gaze, and they are
Okay.
truly horrible. And we sort of left the encounter halfway through, so it'll be interesting
Hmm.
to see how we do that in 2 weeks' time.
Oh.
But the players and the characters were epic again, and it was my only real game on the Sunday, so I wanted to get the most out of it that I could, and I
Yeah.
feel we did. It was great fun to play.
So who's in that one then?
It's a good question. Who is in that one? We have Marcus and Casper. Natasha, Jack, and Ian. So 6 players, fairly solid. And this is one of the ones.
Jack's in everything.
Wow. I mean, yeah. Did I said that Jack was in the Spelljammer the previous night
Yep.
before, didn't I? Yeah. Jack plays in a lot of games.
He does, yeah.
And a
I
great
don't know
player.
how he does it. I really don't know because I can't. I do a game and I do 2 games on the weekend and I'm wiped out. And I just takes so much out of me.
Yeah. Um, Leprechaun says a really great session on Sunday. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I thought it was a definite interesting one, and it's gone from a pitched battle outside to kind of trying to make their way through this trapped temple at the moment that is forewarned. And then Sunday night, I just did a thing, which was another stream, a live stream. Kyle was definitely watching live. Thanks very much for keeping me company on that. But um, it's on our YouTube channel now, but we will be putting it into a playlist probably later tonight, to be honest, or first thing tomorrow. You have to leave it a certain number of hours before you can take it from live to a video on demand. And I started a playthrough of the early access of Baldur's Gate 3. It's a fun game. I did enjoy what I did. I'm not going to spoil the ending. I might well do more of it on this coming Sunday. Um, Probably, yes, I will do. Not because I'm just deliberating. I've got 1,001 other things to do as well.
Come on, Andy, you've got loads of time. Loads of
Yeah,
time.
loads
You're
of
never
time.
busy.
Loads of time, maybe. So that brings us to sort of the weekend in review. A great weekend. Strange games didn't happen, but I was busy doing other things. It was kind of all sort of jiggled together. Might be the reason for me feeling a little bit discombobulated. Is that a word? It is now.
I think it might be now. I think it might be.
More importantly, does it mean what I think it means? Because
I'm going to say no. But let's hope this week can put you back together again and get you on an even keel. So, what's
yeah,
going on this week, Andy? What do we got?
boy, I
I
mean,
don't call me boy.
yeah. What haven't we got this
Boy.
week? What haven't we got? Sorry, was that a trigger? I wasn't calling you boy. I was just. Um, well, tonight I'm going to try and spend some time with my good lady wife, and we might do some Traitors. I don't know whether you ever watched the TV program.
I don't watch TV.
Reality show. It passed me by. I'm a big fan of Werewolf and Mafia and all of those kind of
Oh,
games,
right. Yeah.
and it's kind of like that. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's trash TV without a doubt. But sometimes when I spend a lot of my time writing and planning and everything else, a little bit of trash TV is
Yeah.
quite good
Yeah. I
for
wouldn't begrudge anyone watching TV that they like.
just to switch off a bit. So we'll
Yeah.
be doing that, and then tomorrow, boy, tomorrow we have a big one. We have a
We
very big
do.
one. I am so excited, so excited. We have a live actual play of the game Shiver. Um, I wonder if I've actually got it. I'm not even sure if I've actually got it up here, which is really bad. Um, it's got myself, it's got Christian, it's got Matt, who co-writes with me, and it's got Adam, who is a writer for Shiver, all as the cast, and it's being directed, as they call it, or game mastered by Charlie, who is the designer of the game. It's going to start at 7 o'clock. We'll probably have a little bit of a 6 o'clock club Shiver chat tomorrow. But Shiver is a horror-based game, but instead of it being Call of Cthulhu-esque, it's cinematic horror. The game that is running the session is called Giggles Playhouse. So I'm fully expecting, well, killer clowns perhaps,
Yes. Yes. That's what
um,
I'm expecting too.
or at
It's
least
going to be
one.
good.
I mean, uh,
Well, it
if
only really takes one, doesn't it?
absolutely, if you cast your mind back to the vampire game I was running for you, as you can tell, I'm quite a fan of killer
Mm,
clowns as
yeah.
Bozo Bob's. Um, was it Bozo Bob's?
It was Bozo Bob. It was like Boutique of the Bazaar or something like that.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
don't know whether people can see that, but I've just done tech live. And we've got this. So on YouTube, live actual play, 14th of March 2023, 7 o'clock, 1900 hours GMT. Giggles for Now, starring Matt, Andy Christian, special guest Adam, directed by Charlie Menzies. I have put the link, the YouTube link, down in the comments below. Um, if you can watch live, please do. We won't be really being able to interact with chat very much because it's a live play. We might have a break, we might not, and if we have a break, we'll certainly speak out to you. But sort of the pre-show is the time to do all the chat if you want to, which will be tomorrow. The pre-show will be 6 o'clock club. And supposedly we are a gang of teenagers that have,
Yes.
there's no real spoilers here, that are either dared or amongst us. We've decided to dare to go into the fun house.
Yes.
Perfect setup. I've not decided what character I'm playing at the
Oh, haven't
moment.
you?
Well, I want to fit
Oh.
in with everybody, not fit in. I want to find a place.
Hmm.
Now I've been thinking back on all of the John Hughes movies that ever exist, things like Breakfast Club.
Right. Okay.
I've been thinking
I've
about the
never seen
Goonies.
any of those. I've seen the
Um,
Goonies
yeah, I've been thinking
with an
about.
Oscar-winning actor.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Actually, yeah, you are right for everything, everywhere, all around something. Uh, um, Captain
Close
Dove
enough.
could have sorted it out. Where was Captain Dove when that was going on? Eh?
Probably drunk.
Probably drunk. Absolutely. Um, an amazing movie. I actually watched it. I really liked it. Jamie Lee Curtis also won an Oscar for it as well. I think it won several
It
Oscars.
it it won a lot of them.
Yeah,
Yes, it won a lot of them.
yeah.
So,
It's a great movie. I genuinely
mm,
did it. It kind of has a different spin on multiversal stuff, but I really enjoyed it.
mm.
I really
Well,
enjoyed
at
it.
some point in the future, I might watch 10 minutes of it.
Whether what period it's set in as well. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I
are,
mean,
are we classic 80s? Is this modern day?
I hope it's. I do. There's a part of me that really hopes it's 80s. I mean, I don't. I'm not gonna spoil it too much, but I have decided because it probably aligns closely with myself that I'm going to be the kid that goes along because of peer pressure. He wants to fit in with everybody. Um, but you have to choose a fear. So, as you know, I like to play suboptimally, and I've chosen the song "Entrance of the Gladiators," which some of you may know, some of you may not know. I'd recommend you go and look it up on YouTube, and you'll know what it is immediately. I'm not telling you what it is, but yes, look up "Entrance of the Gladiators," and you'll find out the song that my character's afraid of.
Very good. I look forward to that. I know what you're talking about,
Mm.
and I have a feeling it's probably we might hear it.
I mean, I don't know, but as you said, you know me. I like to play
Yeah, 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 no,
suboptimally.
absolutely. But I'm super excited.
Mm.
It's I love those kind of movies. Breakfast Club I thought was really good. Just the interactions between sort of all
Mm.
of these angst teens. Um, so I'm very much looking forward to it. It's supposed to be cinematic. It's supposed to, and the cast that we've got are all going to be doing suboptimal things, no doubt. And
Yes. Oh, yes.
it's going to have. I don't know how rapidly the game's going to last because we might all die very rapidly.
That's built into the game though.
Yeah, yeah,
It's all
it
about the
is.
fun of fear and not so much about,
Yeah,
and we're going to beat the
absolutely.
bad guy and get out.
Uh,
I've seen all the Friday the 13th up to Jason
Uh,
X and
yeah. I mean, here's an odd one for you because I did actually watch it a few weeks
hmm.
ago. Before I got the name of this, it's a Nick Cage movie called Willy's Wonderland. Uh,
Oh yes, because it's based on Five Nights at
yeah, Freddy's.
Freddy's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's truly terrifying.
And
Animatronics. Oh.
I just wonder how much he got paid for it because I'm not entirely sure how many lines he had to remember. He was stoic and
Hmm.
silent throughout most of the movie. It is it's Nick Cage.
He
Uh,
works for money.
yeah. No. It wasn't a criticism,
Yeah.
but it was like, oh, but it was quite inspirational, and I shall be bringing some of that in
Oh,
to it as
wonderful.
well.
So you're going to have a character that doesn't talk all night.
No, I'm not talking about playing. Nick Cage wasn't one of all of the teens more or less got that's spoilers, but they all died horribly.
Oh.
Nick Cage was, I think his title was. He didn't even have a name. I think it was the janitor. So,
Yep.
um, but no, I'm very excited for that. So please come and join us if you can.
Yep.
It's a Tuesday
Come and
night.
watch.
Watch live. If not, watch on catch up. I'll be shouting out about that and shiver over the next week. Um, then Wednesday should have been Fortunes Untold with Adrian, with Felicity, with James, and with Ross, but they are. So that's Roz, not Ross. Just my pronunciations and that I wanted to clarify. Um, but unfortunately, it's not going to fire because, again, real life. So I'm a
Mm.
bit stuck at the moment on Wednesday, and I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm really not, and I'll come on to things in a minute because I found a new obsession. Um,
You're not allowed to do that on stream.
I don't know.
You'll go
It's
blind.
but I believe you can. Well, I suppose legalities, yes. Anyway, so Wednesday, Fortunes Untold normally, but unfortunately we've decided to postpone it because they're a critical point and we want everybody to be
Yeah.
involved. But boy, once again, because this is a week of things, I am super stoked and hyped about Tuesday night with Shiver. But Thursday night is the 3-year anniversary of our Icebreakers
Oh,
campaign.
wow.
And
Congratulations to Icebreakers.
yeah, I mean, we'll be doing Icebreakers anyway at 7 o'clock as usual. The Icebreakers crew will be there, which is Michael and Jack and Joe and James and Emma and James. Yeah, there are two Jameses. I haven't repeated that. But everybody's excited. It's 3-year anniversary. It's a beautiful game. We're all enjoying it. It's very role
You got
play
some special
orientated.
plans.
Well, 6 o'clock club. They are going to come on to the 6 o'clock club.
Oh, lovely.
So you get to meet some of our players if you are in chat. And I mean, they're all invited. So we could have 6 people and myself in the 6 o'clock club just going icebreakers, icebreakers.
That
Um,
seems to be all the chatting whenever people talk about icebreakers. It's
yeah,
just lots of repeats of icebreakers.
icebreakers, absolutely. So it's going to be organised chaos on the 6 o'clock club on Thursday night. And we will lead into not a streamed game but a private game of icebreakers. But I'm really excited. Everybody is very excited about that. So that's another big thing. Then Friday, 6 o'clock club again, and then Collateral Damage. As spoken before, they are headed into the interior of the jungles of Cult, and we have those 7 players: Ben and Charlotte and Michael and Stuart and Ryan and V and Richard. Hopefully they can all make it this time, and it's always incredibly good fun. Then we come to the weekend. The weekend should be, it's a strange weekend for everybody that needs a reminder, a gentle nudge. Sunday's Mother's Day. So I don't know what games are going to fire, what games aren't going to fire, because it's Mother's Day and people are doing things on Saturday and Sunday and everything else. But what we have proposed at the moment is a full day Saturday, which is Curse of Strahd, and the characters have now entered Castle Ravenloft, and they are about to engage in a game of cat and mouse with
Yes.
Strahd himself. We do have Josh, and we have Ian, and we have Pete, and we have Matt, and we have Ryan in that game. Hopefully that will go, and it's going to be super fun. Straight after that, we have Tomb of Annihilation. And we have Casper and Gordon and Marcus and Ben and Dave that should be in that. They are coming towards the end game. Hopefully that will go ahead. And then we have the Diplomates, the critical role game that we run fortnightly on Saturday. And that has Doug and Mel and Ben and Charlotte and Nathan in there. So very busy game as well. And then on Saturday night, Call of Cthulhu, Masks of, I say Nyarlathotep, which is not quite right. It's
Nyarlathotep.
Nyarlathotep.
Nyarlathotep. Or Nyarlathotep.
I have seen there is a pronunciation guide in the Keeper's Handbook, and you are right. I just need to train myself to doing that. And that
I got it wrong for ages until I listened to the podcast about Charles Dexter Ward. I got it wrong for years. I just start. It's like a Nanny Og saying banana in the Discworld series. I know how to start saying it. I don't know how to stop saying it.
That's like a lot of the Cthulhu mythos names. But hopefully that will fire. We have Ian, we have George and George, and we have James as well in that. And I genuinely hope that one goes, because it's super good fun. And then we come to Sunday. And Sunday, we might have a mythical game on. This is one of those one-shot tiered games. So it's an open invite at the moment. We've got one person that is interested in playing. If we can get enough people, we only need another 3 players. We'll be running, it'll be levels 1 to 5 or one shot. It'll be really good fun.
So if you don't like your mum, come along.
That's a little harsh. If you are seeing your mom earlier or later,
I'll do what I always do and send her a card on Monday,
right.
Because I forget, because I'm the terrible son and I live about 250 miles away from her.
There is no reason for that now, because I have reminded you.
You've reminded me, but I've already forgotten.
Well, this is the service that we give. And then after that, we have got, obviously, Eberron.
Yes. So Rachel won't be making it because she will be seeing her mum.
Yeah.
But I will be there, along with hopefully Jocelyn, Tony, Jenny, and Becca said she wouldn't be there. So yes,
Becca is working. And that is the week coming up, sort of. We've got a Wednesday that I might or might not do something on. So 2 really big things, obviously Shiver and the anniversary of the Icebreakers. Not that they take in any way priority over all of the other games as well, which I am equally as excited for. But I've got a new obsession.
Go on.
I don't know how this passed me by. I really don't.
Is it yo-yos or pogs?
I love yo-yos. I'm too old for pogs. Pogs were
okay.
They hit that very narrow window of me being too old and too young. You know
Mm.
when something comes out and you
Yeah,
are just at the age that you don't like anything.
that started around about age 8 and continued to age 37 that I am now.
Well,
Yes.
you're in that one.
Yeah,
You are the shadow to my light. I'm trying to
I
be
am.
upbeat and everything else. And
Just a git. I just
well, I like to think, to be perfectly honest, you're my psyche. Things that Andy can't really say, but
no,
has
but
Christian to say it
I'm
instead.
not being paid for this.
No,
So
absolutely. Um,
so
it's
what's your obsession?
it's a role playing game that has just hit Kickstarter. I mentioned it on some of my socials earlier last week, and it's called Shadow Dark. Boomf.
Shadow Dark.
Uh,
What's all that about them?
Indeed. Shadow Dark, I've just called up an image there. It's old school gaming with new school mechanics, as they say, and it's very very interesting. They've basically taken that literally old school feel, the way that I used to feel about the role play games I played as a teenager. And I don't just mean Dungeons and Dragons. I mean Boot Hill, Gamma World, Top Secret, RuneQuest. Even when I was slightly old, things like First Edition Call of Cthulhu, and even when I was a little bit older, and like Warhammer Fantasy role play. It's got me really excited, and that feel of this is awesome. This is not just
Hmm.
good. This is not just another role play game.
Yeah, yeah,
It's that feeling that you know coming across something for the very first time, um, which is kind of strange because what they've got isn't new, but it's so refreshing. It feels new.
yeah. I
Um,
understand that.
but what they've done is not gone, oh, yes, these old games were awesome. Let us just republish them.
Let's put Thaco back in.
Yeah, yeah. No, they very cleverly have gone. There's great stuff about fifth edition. There's some
Hmm.
very, very cool mechanics. And they've cherry picked those and they've utilized them, put them in.
Hmm.
And they very much have thought, what doesn't work? What causes GM's problems at the table? What
Players.
things? Well, I mean, like I said, you are my psyche. I would never say players at all are the problem.
You've not
Um,
met my players.
um, what they have done is all the things that cause GMs to go, really?
Yeah,
You want to you want to do? Isn't that gonna suck some of the fun out of the game? Well, you want to do it, it's in the rules, you do it. They've taken all of that out and stripped it right back. But they've gave agency to the GMs to allow you to do those kind of things if it's appropriate.
yeah,
So instead of going, well, if I take this from this book and 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 put all of these rules as written together, and scrutinizing it, I can do this.
hmm.
Um, and it's none of that. It's like, can I do this? Oh, wow, that's going to be cool if you do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, go on, you do that. And it kind of flips it, if you see what I
hmm.
mean, because you can still do those things, but it kind of feels a lot more organic and a lot
Yeah,
more like I'm definitely trying to abuse the system,
yeah,
um, finding loopholes or kind of inconsistencies in the rules to actually no that's awesome.
yeah.
That is super
That's
cool.
good. I like that. I like
Um,
that.
but it is very very stripped back.
Hmm.
All of the players, you you start off on initiative, not because there's combat, but you take it in turns as players to do your actions and move forward,
Okay.
which means everybody around the table gets their turn and gets to do
Yeah.
something. And then when combat happens, there's other initiatives.
Yeah.
It's old school though, so it's quite deadly, especially early games. So
Yeah.
you have that fear of, oh no, I don't really want to be hit. Um, One of the other really interesting mechanics is that they've completely taken out dark vision.
Ha.
There is
Yes.
there is no dark vision,
No.
and one of the mechanics is everything operates in real time, and a torch
Mm.
burns for an hour. So in an hour
Okay.
of gameplay, unless, and it does say that there's certain circumstances that time passes slower or faster,
Yeah.
but you as the GM can judge that. But
Mm.
as a standard mechanic, um, players in initiative need to move as fast as they can,
Yep.
because in real time, an hour, one of your torches goes out,
Mm. I like that.
which means there's a timer, there's a clock.
Yeah.
And when I said there isn't dark vision, what I meant was none of the player ancestries or races have dark vision.
No.
The monsters do,
Yes. I
or at
like
least
that.
some of the monsters do.
Yeah.
And it's very much a dungeon crawl, but as I stated earlier with Dungeon and Mad Mage, this doesn't necessarily negate you putting role playing in there as well.
No. No.
Um, but you're always now clinging onto that light that,
Yeah.
well, we don't want our resources to go down. They simplified things like gear. So you can carry a number of items based upon your strength,
Okay.
but there is a
Yeah.
minimum of 10 slots. So you start off with 10
Right.
gear slots, but if you've got a strength of 12, you can carry 12 gear slots.
Yep.
And a certain number of coins fill up one gear slot. So,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
there's old school encumbrance, but
Yeah.
it's not like, oh my god, I need to add all of this up
This
and
is how many
on a
pounds of
count. Yeah,
equipment you've got. Yeah.
what am I doing now?
You end up
It,
in Death Stranding trying to work out where to put it on
that's
your
right.
back and where to attach it to yourself. And then when combat starts, you're there as the turtle with the backpack on, or yeah, the lady in Labyrinth
Yeah.
that's walking with the big thing on the back. Yeah.
So it's, but sort of, finding a torch on a fallen monster is like, oh yes, we've got light for another hour.
Do 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 do.
Um,
Yeah.
because experience again is old school. It's the
Hmm.
stuff that you find or the boons that you are given that you trade in for experience points.
Yeah.
So you need to get out of the dungeon to
Hmm.
level up. But dungeons refresh.
Yeah.
So you've constantly got
That's
this
good of them.
really nice kind of, well, we're burning our torches, but if we leave now, we're going to get out, but we're going to have to fight our way all the way back to this point.
Yeah.
So do we chance finding a torch? Do we, and it's just it makes me excited because there's
Hmm.
those choices of what do we do. Um, and there's great mechanics for spell casting as well, in the fact that a wizard, for instance, if I'm remembering this right, they can cast a spell, but to cast a spell they have to make an ability check.
Yeah.
If they succeed, the spell goes off. If they fail, I don't think the spell goes off, but they can't cast that spell again until they've had a long rest. So you don't have spell slots, you have successes and failures.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
critically fail, there's a spell malfunction and something really bad happens.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
And divine magics, sort of similar spell check. If you fail, the god won't listen to you for that spell again, so you don't get to
Oh
do it.
wow. Yeah, I
If
like
you
that.
if you critically fail, you have to do a penance before you can cast spells.
Oh,
Um,
brilliant.
so you're constantly sort of thinking
Yeah.
about, do we want to push this? Don't we want to push it?
Yeah.
And I will do a video based around the the information in the quick start rules, because the writer has produced some very beautiful, quite simple paragraphs
Okay.
that really set the out of character feel for the table, that players, they make a pact, they are working
Yeah.
together, because the shadow dark doesn't differentiate between good and bad. It will get you all.
And
And
that's currently on Kickstarter, isn't it? All
yeah,
of this is.
well, yeah. I mean, there's a couple of things. First and foremost, if you go to the website, which again is
Mhm.
in the comment section below, um, the splash page is, go to our Kickstarter, which you can do, and you can see that it's got a lot of interest. It's already fully funded, but if you scroll down there a little bit on the Kickstarter, they've got they've got some quick start rules that you can
Okay.
download for
Yeah.
free. There's a player's guide and the GM's guide, so you can get those for free. Have a look at it and see what you think.
Great.
But I mean, I've put the logo up, but this is on the cover, I think, of the main Kickshop.
Mm.
This image here.
We
Uh,
are at 1:45 as well, I'm afraid, or
yeah,
just
yeah.
after 1:45. So I will have to, unfortunately, be leaving
Go.
in a minute.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to
Sorry.
flash that up there,
Oh
that
no.
piece of artwork, which is just, I think it's a beautiful piece of artwork.
I'm
Christian
no.
is not happy with that at all.
No.
Beholder. Um, so that's my obsession. I'm going to be talking a lot more. Just close your eyes for a moment. It's not real. It's got too many eyes and a mouth. That's,
Well, that's my nightmares tonight.
sorry. Sorry. Um, check Shadow Dark out. I will be doing some more videos chatting about it at length. I will be looking at doing some actual plays, and I will be doing some sort of ticketed games as well. But I'm very, very excited about it.
Ooh.
So with that, as Christian said, we've hit time, so it is time to say goodbye for now. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock club, talking all about Shiver, going into our live actual play. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe if you can, and we will catch you all tomorrow. Have a great rest of evening. Goodbye from me. Goodbye
No,
from...
you're not getting anything.
No, that's it. You're traumatized now. I apologize. I will catch you all later. See you. Bye.